Welcome to Tuesday with Terry, the podcast for getting your mind, business, and life in shape. Hosted by Terry Blachek, one of the original area developers for Orangetheory Fitness, who helped launch the brand from the very beginning. He'll use his years of experience to help you shape up your mind, build strong relationships with your teams, revamp your business processes, and set down the path towards success in all aspects of your life.
Good afternoon. It is Tuesday with Terry. I'm excited to be here today. I've got something special for each and every one of you. By the way, I'm talking to you live from Austin, Texas, where the sun is hot, the barbecue is sweet, and all the drinks are absolutely free over here. But come on down and visit us. We'd love to have you and be our guest. Enjoy the good Austin weather, the good Austin food, and some of the live music down here. It's my pleasure to, this is inaugural for me on one of my podcasts, because what's happening is I'm going to talk to you and introduce you to a great friend, a good man, and somebody that I think is very powerful, or has been in my own personal business. And he is the inaugural interview for me, because he was the inaugural person that helped me launch a brand business back in 2010. His name is Troy Taylor. Welcome to Tuesday with Terry, Troy.
Wonderful to be here, Terry. Thank you.
That's a lot of T's. Tuesday with Terry, Troy.
It is a couple T's in there. Thanks for the intro.
Yeah. So Troy is here with me in Austin, Texas. Helped me launch the Orangetheory brand back in Tampa, Florida. Helped me launch the Orangetheory brand here in Austin, Texas, and still actively with me. I always say you're the longest running employee partner that I've had in the Orangetheory brand. So it's good to have you on my podcast, Troy. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm not running so much anymore, but I don't have that kind of energy, but it's been a lot. It's been a long ride.
So give us give our listeners just a little bit of background on yourself, Troy. Big Penn State guy, right?
Yep. Love Penn State. Love Penn State.
We are, right?
We are.
Got that whole
Joe Pug guy. I'm a Joe Pug guy.
good
for life. So college, Penn State, track guy, always a runner, always into fitness, always into people, teams, things like that. Developing not only myself, but working on other people around me, obviously. I was a big fraternity guy, too. I can probably put that in there. So I loved throwing the party, being part of the party, and creating the party, so to speak.
You know, Troy Taylor is the party, man. If you haven't seen this guy, he's got, orange hair, an orange splat cutting the side of his head, and he looks like he's, a 25-year-old body of a 25-year-old inside of a... However old you are, we won't, broadcast that.
The insides aren't 25-year-old at all.
Yeah, of course.
But it's been fun. A lot to do with fitness. I came out of Penn State, and one of my track coaches got me involved with a Major League Baseball team, inaugural season at Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
I say Tampa, you say
Bay.
Tampa.
Bay.
Tampa.
Bay. Back in the day, it was the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. They changed it to the Rays. I left probably about 2 years after the inaugural season, but worked with the likes of Fred McGriff, Jose Canseco, Wade Boggs, the old guys that they put in there to try to teach the young guys.
Right? You were a speed coach,
That's
right?
A speed enhancement coach, strength coach, for sure. And from there, I had a lot of background also in physical therapy, personal training, obviously. I really enjoy working with people and, once again, teams. I started at Gold's Gym down there in St. Pete, Florida. That's where we started. In that gym, there wasn't so much personal training going on, so I kind of worked with groups in those gyms. And that was always fun, putting people together with like-minded goals and things like that. But everybody got results because they were together. And it became kind of a party within the Gold's Gym arena. From there, obviously got back into a little bit more of the physical therapy arena, where I was doing rehab stuff. And I think I ran into you on the bay somewhere.
Yeah, Bayshore.
We were jogging.
Or some place down there.
Yeah, we were running.
Tampa,
running. One thing that I remember, I never ever stopped my workout. Never. And here comes Terry. And I stopped that one day and we chatted, and that's kind of how it all started.
So we met, you were doing some group training, small group training. Troy and I spoke about maybe starting up a brand of our own. I got involved in Orangetheory Fitness. And I think, one morning we jumped in a van.
Drove down to Fort Lauderdale, tried the class.
Yeah.
Amazing experience. I was like, Terry, why didn't we think of this?
Yeah, well, we kind of did, but we put it all together and we started that in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I remember the day very distinctly because we had gotten our pre-sale all set up and it was like leaving Troy off at summer camp. And I left him there to sell memberships and to get the pre-sale started. And I drove away and I looked back. I actually took a picture. I still have that photograph. Took a picture and he was kind of waving by me like my son at summer camp saying, when are you going to come back and see me, Dad? Kind of a thing. But
dropping your kid off, right?
It's been a great ride. Orangetheory's been good for you, Troy. It's been great for me. We've built the brand. We've expanded the brand. We've taken a lot of people through the business. We've grown people. We've grown the business. We've sold franchises. And here we sit today as one of the larger groups of Orangetheory Fitness. But one of the things we want to talk about today, or that you and I chatted about before we got live here, was, in all of that, if you look back at the last 10 years or you look back at your life, all of us at some point or time in our life have dealt with some type of adversity. And I like to talk about self-empowerment. But as you look back, Troy, can you think of a time when maybe you had to deal with some adversity in your life or something that went bad? And maybe just talk us through that, what happened and how you dealt with that and what that felt like.
Yeah, I think, like you said, everybody comes upon adversity at one point in time, and there's some more than others. When I was in Tampa, I was torn in a lot of different directions, I think. My focus probably should have been fitness more often than not. But I had an entertainment company where we did some dancing and some stuff like that, and I was more into the play of fun. And I think dancing.
You're a dancer?
I'm a dancing man. That's right.
Dancing fool.
I got involved with that in college, and the fraternity life and so forth and so on. And I think I really didn't have much direction. I always wanted to have my own business in fitness. I tried that. That was a bad leg of mine that kind of failed miserably. I always had a lot of following in fitness. People wanted to emulate and do some of the things that I did in the gym as well as outside in other sports. And then obviously, just physique. I did a lot of modeling. Actually, I think that you sponsored me from your tan salon.
Yeah,
back
my tan salon. Yeah, put a little.
Yeah,
got you all bronzed up and got you on the runway.
That's right.
There.
You painted me. So a lot of different directions, being pulled and torn in those directions. Sometimes we find ourselves, hey, what am I doing the right thing? I think your ego gets involved in there. Also, failure gets involved in there. And coming through that, not along with meeting you and finding a great product in Orangetheory Fitness. It was probably the routine of fitness that kept me going every day, day to day. I remember back when I was 20, 25 years old, people go, wait till you get to be 30. Your body's going to go to poop. Wait till you get to be 40. And now I'm about 50 right now. I'm actually 50. Yes, I just turned 50.
Okay.
I just
Happy
turned
birthday.
50. Big 50.
All right.
So I've kept consistent with one thing all my life, and that's been fitness. That's been taking care of my body, my soul, my mind that way. And I think that's one of my biggest successes that's gotten me out of a lot of different things that pulled me in different directions, different defocused events in my life. It's always hard to come up with the routine that's successful for you too. A lot of people are still struggling with that. That's why they're in Orangetheory right now. So sometimes that takes time. It's a patience thing. It's years of work. And sometimes there's a struggle there. You obviously have injuries that come into play. You have time in your life that's taken away from school, from relationships. I think your ego still lies in the background of that as well. You want to look good. You want to feel good on the outside. But if your inside's not working, you're not going anywhere. You can forget about work. You can forget about play, all the things that I like to do. If my health isn't there, well, I'm not going to be able to do all those other things. So that was probably the most important thing, and something that I've learned over the years that I need to stick with and I need to be involved with. I just had a hip surgery, probably one of the fastest recoveries that my PT has ever seen, just because of my history with physical therapy and also with fitness. 8 months later, I'm out running. I'm doing my thing. So not quite as fast as Usain Bolt yet, but I'm working on that.
Yeah, well, there's always next year at the Summer Olympics.
There you go.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, what you're really saying is you've dealt with adversity in your life. You've been at the top of the mountain, you've been at the bottom of the valley. But one of the things that you have found to help you through that is a constant exercise workout program of taking care of yourself.
Yes. And that's not always going in and lifting as much weight as I can. It's not running, having a PR for myself. It's not doing something that's remarkable to the fitness world. It could be just stretching one morning. It could be a little meditation. It could be something that's fun for me is to see myself, how quickly I recover. I just mentioned that with my hip. But things that I know, the knowledge that I have with physical therapy and fitness and the human body and how it reacts to things, energy, you've always seen my energy. It all that comes from working out, from exercising and having that mentality that I can always find a sanctity in the gym working out.
Yeah, good. So, so the lesson there is when you work out, you feel better about yourself. When you work out, you still have your health. You may not have your job. You may not have your career. You may not have the finances. You may not have the relationships. But man, you got your health.
Yes, sir.
And that's a pretty powerful thing.
Yes, sir.
Troy, you're a guy that talks a lot about gratitude. And I talk about that in some of my past podcasts. But maybe speak a little bit of that, of where that the life of gratitude or that place to live from or come from in terms of life itself, your relationships, dealing with other folks. Talk about gratitude just a little bit.
You know me pretty well. I've probably changed in the last 2 or 3 years spiritually, along with my health. So one thing that I grade myself on, you talk about rankings, I rank myself on how I can actually give back, how I can be grateful for some of the things that I have. It's hard to step back and say, hey, thank you for the clothes on my back. Thank you for the shoes on my feet. Thank you for the roof over my head. Those are simple things, but there's a lot of people that don't have those things. So it's hard to do that unless you see something that's very traumatic on TV or that's advertised that makes you feel that way. But if you practice that, it's part of my routine. If you practice that on a daily basis, it comes back to you tenfold. And I feel that spiritually. I got goosebumps right now just talking about it. I call that the Holy Spirit, not goosebumps, by the way. Gratitude, being grateful for family, for friends, for mentors like yourself, for people that just somehow snake their way into your life and do things that better for you than you could ever done by yourself.
How do you show that? How do you show that gratitude to those people? What, for you personally, how do you do that? What are the things you do?
I think part of it is how I pronounce myself. You've seen my name up on the screen in class as Grateful T. I call myself Grateful T, and people use that nickname for me.
Your Jeep, I think, has a license plate right on it.
Grateful T. But I think I show it to other people by. You don't have to necessarily say it to them. All these things of gratitude work in the background. They don't have to be professed or told to someone all the time. I think that a lot of times I feel like I'm put here to help other people, whether it be in fitness, finances, relationship, their life, maintaining their body, maintaining their soul, maintaining their mind. So a lot of times I think it's just in saying what I'm grateful for myself and teaching them how to do that also. Are you grateful that you're able to even work out, to go to the gym? Are you grateful that you have a family around you, a support system around you? Showing gratitude is just something you kind of hold to yourself. It doesn't always have to be, like I said, pronounced or written down somewhere, but you have to do it, and routinely you have to say it to yourself.
Spend a little time thinking about it. Spend a little time contemplating in quietness,
yes,
perhaps.
For sure.
Just
behind the scenes. It's like behind the scenes kind of thing.
Yeah. Nice. Well, two things I think we learn here is, number one, in the face of adversity, keep spending a little bit of time on yourself and on your health. That's that workout, constant workout, exercise. Do something. Be active. It doesn't have to be the world's best workout program, but do something for yourself. Makes you feel better about yourself. Yep. That did it for me. Number two is living a life of gratitude and coming from a place of gratitude with family, friends, neighbors, relatives, work, coworkers, etc., coming from a place of gratitude. And, you have something kind of special going on. I just want to mention it real quick. You got a T-shirt program you started up. Just tell me how you started that T-shirt program.
I have two daughters. My youngest daughter, her name is London. Older is Jada. And we do the model prayer every night. We practice that probably for the last 2 years straight. And we've been saying the same prayer, but it all means something to everybody. So in the family, I kind of teach them that. And I asked my youngest daughter, London, what she wanted to be when she grew up, or what kind of superhero did she want to be. And she said, I got it. And what I heard was, I got it. I-G-O-D it, not I-G-O-T it. So to me, that was a spark in my life that you can say anything to yourself at any given time. I'm having a bad day, Or when life rubs me the wrong way, I got it. Or how about just a simple statement of affirmation? Believe me, I got it. I got it. So it runs along with scripture. It runs along with what God wants us to remember on every day. That's him. We self-actualize ourselves and other people by giving praise. And I think my daughter kind of brought that to light in me in the past couple of years. Like I said, you've seen that. I've gotten heavily involved. Not that I'm a super spiritual guy. I still like to have fun. I still do some things that are I'm still a sinner, like everybody is. But within that, I still give praise and I give thanks, and that gratitude comes out. So I Got It brand is, I got
Where
it.
can I find that T-shirt? If I wanted to pick up an I Got It T-shirt, where could I get that?
I was just going to spin that in there. Good stuff. Thank you. You go to www.igotit.me, IGODIT.me.
That's Troy Taylor, everybody, talking to you live from Austin, Texas. Keep your workouts going. Live a life of gratitude. Pick up an I Got It T-shirt and stay true to yourself. I say this without exception. I wouldn't be here where I am today without Troy Taylor. He has had an impact on my business. He's had an impact on my life. I love this guy as a friend, son, more than that, brother.
I love you too. You are my God, my earth-given father.
Yeah, appreciate that. Well, my name is Terry. This is Troy. Thanks a lot for joining our podcast, another episode of Tuesday with Terry. We're both your friend. We'll catch you next week on Tuesday.